How should you act on a first date? What are the keys to captivating a woman's heart? How do you mess with a woman's mind so much that she becomes emotionally unstable and begins to beg to be with you? That's kind of a creepy question, but that's exactly what Casey Zander is seeking to answer. He describes himself as having unlocked the key to female attraction through high-level mental game. This guy's videos have over 100 million views. I came across Casey's videos on my YouTube suggested feed, which led me down a rabbit hole of a totally different counterintuitive dating strategy. So in today's video, we're going to explore Casey Zander's philosophy. Does it work? Is it effective? Is it even moral? If you're a young guy that's dating or looking to date, looking to be in a relationship, this video is for you. And stay tuned because later in the video, I'm going to share my alternative dating strategy that you can take into a first date. Before we jump in, this may be something you've experienced. This is you, and you're struggling with pornography. You've been struggling for years. You've tried to read books on it, watch videos, maybe even get an accountability partner, but your life is still filled with guilt and shame because this is a habit that it feels like you just can't kick. There's moments, days, weeks that you find some freedom, but then you experience that urge again and you go right back to it. The reality is we need help to overcome this. And that's why I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, Relay. Relay is a private, anonymous community that will help you break free. It will help you break the shame cycle. It'll put you in a group of other men that will help you stay accountable. Relay will also help you when you experience an urge. It's a program that helps you understand what you're feeling and gets to the root of your triggers. Genuinely, this is the best of its kind out there. If this is something that you need help with, seriously, don't put it off. To get 7 days free, click the link in my description or use the QR code on the screen and make sure to use the code IsaacD. Thanks Relay for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into it. The video we're going to deep dive into is called How to Make a Woman Obsessed with You.
Okay, today I'm going to be showing you exactly how to make a woman obsessed with you. A lot of this is going to be stemming into front-end game and making sure that you can psychologically hold the leverage to the point where you are the man that she fantasizes about, you're the only man that she wants a relationship with, and you're literally the man that she thinks about day and night. I'm going to be showing you how to do this step by step, and I want all of you to take notes because this is some serious high-level game.
I've been around the block to know that, there's a lot of swindlers around here, so let's see if he can deliver.
So women only fall in love and become obsessed with the guy who does not want them and never the guy who does. If you end up being the guy wanting her, if you end up being the guy who's chasing a relationship, if you end up being the guy really desiring her on an intimate level, she will run away from you faster than ever. She will literally run away and just run into the distance and you'll never see her ever again.
I think he's making an error here. He's identifying something about a desperate guy. A desperate guy is a guy that needs a relationship. He's extremely lonely, he's needy, and he projects that. I think that's who he needs to be speaking to here, is that this kind of guy, he will repel his date. He will repel any kind of woman that is particularly kind of interested in him. He doesn't have that sense of self-confidence or stability. That doesn't bode well in the dating realm. Now, this guy is a problem, and you might be this guy. You might need to take a step back from a dating relationship or looking for a potential spouse because you're a desperate guy. But what about an intentional guy? This is the difference where he would say, if you project any kind of interest in the woman, that's a problem. That's going to repel a woman. I completely disagree because I think an intentional guy is clear, he communicates, and he protects her heart. And the girl that you want to be with will appreciate this. She'll be attracted to this. This guy isn't needy and he's not perpetually insecure. No, he's confident and he's clear and he communicates. He communicates that he's interested and wants to pursue her. Or he communicates, hey, I'm not interested, and he takes a step away. Because why? He wants to protect her heart. A woman that's repelled by this is not really a woman that you want to be with. And we'll talk about that more later.
You need to demonstrate massive indifference. I do not give a single what any of the other content creators telling you about having good chemistry and flirting and developing this great first date by showing your intent and all that. Women only want what they can't have. So step one, on the first couple dates, you need to demonstrate massive indifference. You walk in there like you've already had multiple dates in the past with other women at her current level of attractiveness, and you go in there like this is an average everyday common occurrence for you.
The desperate guy that I think he's trying to combat in some ways is the guy that just goes in there and he's really insecure and he just puts it all on the table and just really wants to be in a relationship. And yeah, of course, a woman is going to be repelled by that. She doesn't want to be a part of that. That's not attractive. But on the other side, he's going to the other ditch to say, you know what? You should just be completely indifferent, which I think is complete garbage. Man, that's just being a jerk. Like, I have to ask, like, does this guy have a girlfriend? Does he have a wife? Has he actually put in the work to woo a woman enough to want to marry him? Now, what he's saying sounds insane. Like, it does. It just sounds insane. But he's doing it on purpose, and he's saying it on purpose. Why? Because it's the beginning of emotional manipulation, as we're going to see. If you need to emotionally manipulate a woman into liking you, that woman on her own really doesn't like you. So why would you want to be with a woman that doesn't like you apart from the mental tricks that you play on her?
When you go in on that date, the first thing you do is you don't want to focus on her very much. So focus on your food, focus on your drinks, focus on the scenery around the room. So like what I like to do is I like to look around the room. Okay, if you're uninterested in the conversation, what the woman's going to do is she's going to question if she's beautiful enough for you. When she questions if she's beautiful enough for you, she tends to fall in love. So leave the first date super early. Get in and get out of there in 20 to 30 minutes max. You want it to feel like it's super short. You want her to feel like she hardly got any of your time. I show as little intent as possible because I want to appear as the pretentious prick who's extremely hard to please, and here's why. By you walking her to her car, you are literally giving care, you are literally giving emotional support, and you are literally giving potential care and safety towards that woman. You don't see women showing up on first dates making a great meal for you and being super feminine. So in that case, you withhold your masculinity and you reserve it for the woman that actually shows she's going to invest in you. Far too often, men demonstrate masculinity by leading and by showing they're a good guy and showing that they can protect and that they can provide. I try to show that I'm not giving you any of that because you haven't earned it yet. Over the next couple weeks, you want to still reach out to her and you want to initiate some sort of contact from time to time, but this is the most important part. You do this while stirring drama. The reason why you need to stir drama is because women gravitate towards emotional tension and emotional chaos.
Bro is a literal menace. I want to take a 1,000-foot view over all this for a second because the mere fact that you would be watching this video, you'd want to know, how can I make a woman obsessed with me? And what you learn in this video is it's emotional manipulation. It's psychological tactics in order to get her to, fall for me in this particular way. I believe wholeheartedly that it's insecure men that need to resort to manipulation in order to get a girl to like you. It's a man that's finding his sense of security, his sense of significance in the idea of a relationship with a woman. That's why he needs to resort to this, because his manhood is at stake. His security is at stake. His sense of significance is at stake. So he resorts to this kind of manipulation to fill his cup to get what he feels he needs out of this woman. Here's the deal. I believe that God wants us to find our sense of security and significance in him, that in him we would feel whole and secure and confident, so that when we approach the idea of a relationship with a woman, it wouldn't be about how much can I take from her to fill myself. It's how much can I give? How much can I sacrifice? So this guy is talking about the complete opposite of that. Obviously, he's like, enter the date with indifference. Don't extend care to her. There's a subset of women that are attracted to the jerk, the guy who gives them no attention, the guy that's hot, then cold, the guy that treats them like trash. It's sometimes harder for younger guys to understand this. I know it was for me. Like, why would a woman be attracted to that? It's because it's their experience of men. Their understanding of what love and security feels like has been distorted with fear and instability. They're attracted to toxic love, and this man is taking advantage of that.
What is a woman truly saying if they say, I don't like nice guys?
They're saying that my nervous system does not produce the effect that I call love around people who do not send it into some kind of fight or flight response.
Wow.
When I am met with someone who does not make me chase, someone who doesn't play games, doesn't give me anxiety, it doesn't feel like love to me.
The reality is these women are created in the image of God. And even though they might be attracted to toxic love, we as godly men are called not to take advantage of that or play into that. We're called to treat them as sisters in Christ with all purity. This kind of man can be healing for this kind of woman, a man that's clear, that communicates, that protects her heart. She's probably never experienced that kind of love before, and initially it might feel disconcerting to her. It might not feel like love. She might be repulsed by it in some way, but it can be healing for her to experience a guy that really wants to protect her heart. Because the reality is, real men seek to protect her heart. A guy like Casey and the people that are following him and his disciples, they don't care about protecting a girl's heart. Actually, they'll tear it to shreds as long as it means them getting to get with her.
By her even replying to you in the first place, she's getting more invested. She's giving you more of her time. She's giving you more of her energy. I don't give a crap what those text messages say. I am only looking at the paragraph length. The longer the paragraph, the more time she spent typing. The more time she spent typing, the more she cares. What I'm doing is I'm looking for opportunities to text these things. I say things like, whatever, or I'll say things like, oh, typical coming from you, as if I know her. Or if she will say like, oh my gosh, this is the worst date I've ever been on, I will literally say, don't give me all that BS. They want their emotions dragged basically through the mud like a movie. And this is why they leave good men. Because when you are Mr. Perfect, when you have all of the right boxes checked, you're so boring and you're so predictable that now she wonders what the other side of life would be like if she had a different man.
These are broken women that need healing, that he's trying to give you advice on how to manipulate them. Godly relationships aren't just about taking, trying to get from the other person as much as you can to fill yourself. You could feel like, oh, if I just had a woman that was obsessed with me, I would feel good about myself, or I'd feel like more of a man. But it's not true. It might help for a little bit, but it won't ultimately satisfy. Now, I told you I'd share with you an alternative strategy to what Casey is offering here for a first date, and I want to do just that, okay? So the first date, take the pressure off. It's not that big a deal. I think within the Christian community, we can hype up the idea of a first date because we hear so many stories of, the first date I went on with this person was magical and we talked for this amount of time and it was just like, in that moment, I knew I wanted to marry him. And you maybe have those expectations too. It doesn't need to be that big of a commitment. You're not all of a sudden saying that you're going to marry this person just because you're going out on a first date. So take the pressure off. Approach it with curiosity to get a sense of who she is, and approach it with compassion. She might share things about her life or her decisions or whatever, or even her appearance that you might find, okay, well, this is a little bit questionable. This is out of the box for me. Approach her with compassion, seeking to understand her choices, who she is, and then laugh with her, have a good time, make jokes. It's supposed to be fun. There's this balance you want to strike, right? In secular culture, it's just about having fun and no commitment and no expectations and all that kind of thing. But then Christian culture, we can kind of go to the other ditch of it's so much pressure, it's all expectations. And I think there's a place in between that we can meet where you're being clear, you're verbalizing your expectations and intentions, and also you're just having a good time and you're being curious about the other person. Here are the things that I would focus on in terms of your questions are her character. You're getting a sense of her character. What kind of person is she? Her community. Who is she friends with? What's her family life like? What is her church life like? Her relationship with God. Is she a new Christian? Has she been a Christian a long time? Is something bring her back to the faith? Where is her relationship with God right now? And evaluating the chemistry. We as Christians, again, don't pay as much attention to this, at least when it comes to sermons and talks and stuff, because we're so focused on making sure the character's right and the relationship with God is right, which are all good things. But there are plenty of women probably in your life, or at least some, that have a good character and have a good relationship with God, have a good community, and yet you just have no chemistry with them. And that's okay. They're nice people, but you wouldn't go out on a second date with them. So that would be something else you'd want to assess. Be careful about the advice that you're getting. It's not gospel. Even the advice you get from me, take it with a grain of salt. Nobody is God. Nobody has perfect advice. Every situation is a little bit different. And so anytime you hear somebody come in with this revolutionary new strategy in order to get a woman to be obsessed with you, it's probably too good to be true. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Until next time, keep pursuing the mission.